We won't need cryptocurrency very soon because central bank digital currencies will replace it. At least that's what the politicians believe. And if you think like a politician, or you think like most people in this world, you're going to miss out on a very big opportunity. But if you understand this simple chart right here, you have the chance to become very wealthy. As central bank digital currency usage rises, this will lead to an increased price in Bitcoin. Let me explain. When it comes to cryptocurrency, it actually, surprisingly, has very little to do with it being fast, cheap, or even digital. Those are just added benefits. Cryptocurrency was born out of one main purpose: money that you control. And a central bank digital currency is the literal opposite. It is money you don't control. Actually, it's money that controls you. And I know you've heard this before, thinking, oh, this is a conspiracy again. Central bank digital currencies will control every aspect of our life. But it's not me saying it. At this point, it's no longer a secret. Some of the most powerful people in the world are telling you.
For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that.
That was the head of the BIS literally telling you that central bank digital currencies will give governments absolute control. If that doesn't wake you up, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know how I can help you. And whether we like it or not, central bank digital currencies are coming. And almost every country is working on a CBDC. The UAE is set to issue a central bank digital currency. Bank of Russia to pilot a CBDC in April. Japan set to launch a CBDC pilot in April. This one's interesting. Ripple is in dialogue with over 20 central banks on CBDCs. IMF offering Jordan Central Bank recommendations for implementing retail central bank digital currencies. Brazilian Central Bank CBDC designed to help new businesses. Australian Central Bank to launch live pilot of CBDC in coming months. Britain wants to get ahead in the CBDC race. So central bank digital currencies are coming. You can make the case that they're already here. But not all politicians are for central bank digital currencies. We have those that actually have a backbone. Tom Emmer says that the Fed must not create a digital currency surveillance state because he knows a digital dollar in the United States would not be open, not be permissionless, and not be private. So he's fighting for a fair CBDC, but I don't think that's what we're going to end up getting. And an ex-Biden advisor, Dalip Singh, believes that a central bank digital currency would crowd out crypto.
And I think as I reflect upon the experience, one of the efforts we made in parallel was to launch the executive order on digital asset regulation and also trying to push our government to launch a digital dollar, which I think is the single best step that we could take because it would crowd out the ecosystem of crypto that allows national security adversaries like Russia to exploit our deficiencies, our weaknesses in terms of our critical infrastructure.
So he believes that with a central bank digital currency, then there really wouldn't be a need for Bitcoin because we'll have a CBDC that's faster than Bitcoin, cheaper than Bitcoin, easier to use. But that's not what the people want. The reason why people go into something like Bitcoin is for freedom. So actually, when he speaks about a CBDC crowding out crypto, it actually would be the opposite. I believe that the more people use CBDCs and wake up to what they really do, the more people will flock into things like Bitcoin. And we're already seeing it. Nigeria launched a central bank digital currency, but it was a massive failure. Nigerians rejected the CBDC. They do not want to use this currency that gives the government ultimate power. And they have turned their eyes to Bitcoin. Actually, if we go on Google Trends and search the term Bitcoin worldwide, we can see at number 2, it is Nigeria. Number 1, of course, El Salvador, where Bitcoin is legal tender in the country. And this live chart from Atlantic Council shows where each country stands when it comes to central bank digital currencies. You have countries that already launched, those in pilot, those in development, and those researching. But the bottom line here is in the future, almost every country will have a central bank digital currency. But if we decode this chart, what it really says is stack Bitcoin before it's too late. And I've been making videos for a while now. I get a lot of hate, I get laughed at a lot, but this is something that I really believe in, so I'm okay with it. This video, my face will be on the internet for a very long time, for better or worse. But it's something I'm willing to attach my identity to because I strongly believe in the future, when we have central bank digital currencies, not if, but when, people will wake up and they'll have this option. Do I want this central bank digital currency that limits what I buy or locks me out of my account? Or will I opt for something like Bitcoin? My belief is people will opt for something like Bitcoin. And right now, as I make this video, the price of Bitcoin is $23,000. And I don't know what the price is going to be tomorrow, next week, or even next year. Bitcoin could be at $10,000 next year, or it could be at $50,000. I don't know. But what I do strongly believe is that in the future, maybe 10 years from now, 15 years from now, where everyone in the world is using a central bank digital currency, people will flock to Bitcoin. And if you're paying attention to what's going on right now, you have a major advantage. The writing is on the wall, but most people are not paying attention. They don't even know what a central bank digital currency is. And even if they do, they don't truly understand the dangers of a CBDC. And they'll find out in 10 years from now, 15 years from now, when CBDCs are all over the world and people start realizing that it limits what they could buy, or they could have their money frozen. And then everyone will flock into something like Bitcoin. But by that time, it might be too late.